Yo, what's up? Long time no see. Um, you make sure you use the mute button on your thing. I don't. All right. Looks like we're gonna go 0-1-1. Actually, we just need one more run in this Phillies D-backs game to hit the over, and if that hits, then we're 1-1 on the early games. Not exactly a great start, but hey, it could be worse. There's 10 more games to go through for tonight. Honestly, there's so much garbage. This is such a shitty slate to try to bet. We there are some that we like. It's just I think I skipped 4 of these 10, which is a lot for me. So we got 10 to get through. Let's roll through them. First up, Blue Jays at Rays, and surprise, surprise, surprise. I'm starting off with a pass. Kikuchi does have some cool looking numbers. Career against Tampa, and actually, prop people were saying he found something that Kikuchi's like 5-1 to the first 5 run line against the Rays in his career, which is cool. But I still don't trust it, especially coming off a night where they scored 20 runs last night. They scored 20 runs. I don't know if I can just back them after an explosion like that, especially against Tampa. So I'm passing.
Yeah, I'm going to also pass on this one. If I had to give a lean, I would definitely lean Toronto plus 1.5. I just feel like the number's too big. On top of that, yes, McClanahan is dominant, but look at his last home start against Toronto. Got lit up for 4 runs in that game. Kikuchi, it's weird because you think lefty against Tampa, you have to back Tampa no matter what. Well, the problem is Kikuchi has like godly numbers against his team. His team, when he makes an appearance against them, is 5-1 in his last 6 appearances against them. It's just a really tough one to read. I could see Tampa making this game close in the later innings against a really weakened Rays bullpen. That's why I lean the plus 1.5 for a little backdoor cover. But not something I would actually go ahead and put my money on today. That's going to be a lean.
Yep. Next, Cardinals at Reds. I'm taking a shot here. I'm on the Reds. Get this at plus 140 on some books. I think I even saw it up at plus 145 a couple places. I like Cincy here. Taking the dogs. So let me get my notes. All right. So I know Ben Lively pitching against a Cardinals lineup that's definitely been pretty hot is a tough sell. He might really struggle. There's no doubt about that. But Steven Matz is just so due to get lit up. And on the road in Great American Ballpark, it's just a perfect place for that to happen. The Reds lineup doesn't exactly smoke left-handed pitching. But in the last 14 days, they're 17th, 21st on the season. They're not terrible against lefties. This Reds lineup is capable of doing damage against left-handed pitching, especially at home. I think they get to Steven Matz here. So I'm as far as the starting pitching matchup goes, I think it's at the very least a wash, maybe even a slight edge in the favor of Cincinnati. But after the first 5 innings, that's where the edge goes to the Reds. When we look at the second half of this game, sure, the Cardinals bullpen has been better than Cincinnati's, no doubt. But there's no Helsley tonight, and there's no... I always say this guy's name wrong. Gallegos. There's no Helsley tonight, and there's no Gallegos tonight. So the Cardinals are without their 2 main bullpen arms. So even though I think the Reds have a very good chance of winning the battle in the first 5, even if they don't, the Cardinals are going to have trouble closing out this game with the lead. I truly think at plus 140, this is great value, so I'm taking the Reds.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with Kyle here. My personal bet for this game would be Cincy team total in the first 5 over 2.5 runs at plus 100. You can get that on PointsBet or DraftKings. I've been riding this system with the Reds all season just because of their success in the spot last season, and right now they are 7-1 against the 8 left-handed pitchers that have come to Cincy thus far, averaging over 5 runs through the first 5. Steven Matz, I will say, he dealt both times he faced the Reds last year, and both were in Cincy. So that is a bit worrisome. Definitely will concede that, but Steven Matz doesn't necessarily look like the Steven Matz of past. Even last year, he looked a lot better than he has this year. I know he's put together 4 solid starts in a row, but with Steven Matz, we know that doesn't tend to last long. And it's just a spot where I'm playing with house money at this point. So if you want to join along, plus 100's a great price to play. They keep putting out plus money. The books keep losing. Let's keep cashing out on it. One thing I want to say before I hand it over to Kyle for the next pick, how do we think about prize picks? I think that if you're in a state that doesn't allow legal like gambling, such as a DraftKings or a PointsBet or any of that, I think it's fine. I mean, I wouldn't bet too much on it. I'd probably limit that to like 0.25 units per play compared to the 1 unit that we would do on straights. But I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I would probably just stick to 2-leggers because that's what is going to give you the most success, and they're going to steal less off from you that way. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I've never even used Prize Picks before. It's not a thing here in New Jersey. We have all the OGs, DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars, BetMGM, Barstool, all that. So that's what we use here. Let's move on to the next game. Padres at Nats. I am on the over here. And yes, it's all the way up at 10, and I still like it. So, first off, Washington's been scoring runs. I don't know if you've heard. They scored 21 runs in their last 4 games. All of them at home, which is huge because if you've been following Washington Nationals baseball, they've been struggling to score runs at home pretty much this whole season. Now they've scored 21 runs in their last 4 home games. Also, we get the Nats hitting off a lefty starter in David Weathers. Washington may not have an elite lineup, but these numbers don't lie. One thing Washington can do is hit lefties. In the last 14 days, check this out. The Nats are 4th in Major League Baseball in OPS versus left-handed pitching. I don't know. I don't know why I wrote. Oh, okay, that's right. So I wrote down a bunch of teams in my notes. I was like, why did I write these down? So look at the names of look at these teams that are up there against left-handed pitching with the Washington Nationals: Braves, Cubs, Rays, Nationals, Rangers, Dodgers. It's like 4 elite teams and the Nats. They truly are hitting lefties. I think they definitely get to Weathers tonight. And then on the other side, so the reason I'm not just betting Washington is the Padres bats seem to be waking up finally. They scored 14 runs in their last 2 games, but it's not just the fact that they've scored 7 runs, then 7 runs. In those 2 games where they scored 7 runs each, they were 1 for 20 with runners in scoring position, which means not only did they score 7 runs a game, but it should have been much, much more than that. Offense is coming alive. I like Trevor Williams, but sportsbooks clearly think he's about to get rocked tonight. Prop people will tell you about that. His earned run total is unusually high. But even if Trevor Williams is able to pitch himself a decent game, I don't think he will. But even if he is, the Nats bullpen has been ass for basically this whole season. So, yeah, give me the over.
Win all day. I just turned it up a little bit, so hopefully this should be a bit better. Also, try and talk a bit louder. Yeah, I'm in agreement with Kyle here just because I simply love reverse line movement. It is my favorite in the world. It's a great signal of a great bet. And usually a lot of people are sussed out by these bets, a.k.a. Rockies yesterday that wind up cashing for us. So I really like the over here. I was doing some line reading earlier, and the first thing that stood out to me was Trevor Williams' earned run line is at 2.5, boost minus 170 to the over. I mean, the Padres bats have been dead for the last 20 days. To put that line there is making a statement from the books, and I'm going to buy into it. On top of that, I think the Padres bats are at least showing some signs of life. As Kyle said, they just scored 7 runs, 2 games in a row, 5 combined home runs, which means that pop is starting to come alive. And the Padres have some really solid history off Williams with a 276 average, an 18.3 walk rate, and a 977 OPS. So if that 18.3 walk rate comes into effect and the Padres are hitting homers like they are right now, well, I think they're going to be able to find some runs, even if they struggle with runners in scoring position. On the other side, we got Ryan Weathers, and he started off the season hot. I mean, he looked really good for a guy that I was very low on coming into this season. But in his lone start after being called back up to the majors, he got hit up by the Dodgers for 4 runs, 3 hits, and 4 walks through 5.2 innings of work. And if you look at his numbers in the minors, his expected FIP was above 5.5, which shows that he was due for some negative regression. And now he's in a spot where I think he could struggle. As Kyle was saying, Nationals are smashing lefties lately. You want to know what the last 6 lefties to face the Nats combined for? A 1.93 whip, a 1.93 home runs allowed per 9, and an 8.1 ERA. They are cranking them right now. Add in the fact that the Nationals' pen has been god awful the entire year, and I like the runs to be scored here.
Sounds good. Exactly what I'm thinking as well. Next game, Orioles and Yankees, and this is a big fat pass from me. Still a little discouraged about how the Orioles, Baltimore blew that win for us last night. In case you missed it, Baltimore had the lead. I believe it was 5-4 going into the 9th inning. We had Baltimore money line at plus 150. It was looking like it was going to be a glorious, huge plus money cash. Aaron Judge ties it with a home run in the 9th. Yankees win it in extras with a sac fly or something. So yeah, I'm passing.
Yeah, we didn't wind up having this on the ticket, but I do like the angle with the Yankees first 5 run line. They're 5-1 to the first 5 run line in Cortez's last 6 starts against the Orioles. And despite the Orioles smashing lefties all season long, when Nestor saw them earlier in the year at Baltimore, he dealt. When they saw Eduardo Rodriguez, who's an elite left-handed pitcher, they struggled. When they saw Shane McClanahan, same thing, they struggled. So they're able to hit up these low-end lefties, but a guy like Nestor Cortez at home, I think is a spot they're going to struggle. On the other side is Tyler Wells, who I love. I love Tyler Wells going back to last year. He's treated me very well as a bettor. But he is due a lot of regression, and on top of that, he has some pretty bad history against the Yankees. So ultimately, at the minus 105 price, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily hate that. I definitely had success backing Nestor Cortez at home in Yankee Stadium. A lot more confident with him there than I am with him on the road. These division rivalries are tough. They're a lot of fun to bet, and sometimes you can find some angles, but especially with a game that ended like last night's did, I really don't have a feel for it. So let's move on to the next one. Dodgers at Braves. Why would I stop? Dodgers, man. Dodgers first 5. Dodgers full game. I'm pretty sure Proppy was only on the first 5. I like it both. I don't care about the state of the Dodgers bullpen. They cashed plus 170 for us last night. I don't care how good Bryce Elder's numbers look, and you can see that in the bottom left. 3-0 with a 2.06 ERA. Does look pretty solid. He's been pretty fortunate so far as the schedule goes this year. He's got a good start on the road in Toronto. Can't take that away from him. Other than that, in all, he's got I think 7 or 8 starts. I think 8 starts. In all 8 of his starts, I don't really see one impressive lineup that he's faced. He's definitely been a little lucky in that sense. We all know how dangerous the Dodgers lineup can be against right-handed pitching. They're second in the season against righties, behind only Tampa Bay. This could be the perfect night for Bryce Elder to get exposed. Add on the fact that Tony Gonsolin is on the mound. Have you seen this dude's last 3 starts? 16 innings pitched. His last 3 starts. 16 innings pitched. Just 6 hits, 0 earned runs. He hasn't allowed an earned run since May 1st, over 3 weeks ago. Sportsbooks continue to price this Braves team like it's 3 weeks ago. It's not. I mean, Atlanta's just 4-8 in their last 12 games. The Braves are not playing their best baseball right now. Will they rebound and come back at some point? I'm sure they will. They're a loaded team, but they are not playing well right now. To get the Dodgers at basically a pick'em or even at plus money on some books seems like a gift. Now, I do understand that the Dodgers bullpen is in bad shape. They're missing 2 main pieces. So that's why I'm splitting my bet in half, and I'll go Dodgers first 5 money line with half of it, and I'll put the other half on Dodgers full game money line. But this just seems like way too good to be true. And you can see sharps are on the Braves, so it's not like, hey, is this a trap? But no, because people are still betting Atlanta at this price.
Yeah, I mean, the Dodgers are just wagons. There's really no reason to hop off of it. The pen is really what concerns me. I won't bet the full game because of the pen. You use your best arms 2 days in a row. They saw some heavy usage. I don't think that Roberts is going to put those guys out there tonight, so I don't want to bet that. But not a big fan of Elder. I think he's a huge negative regression candidate. He's sporting a 4.57 expected ERA compared to his 2.06 actual ERA. So tons of regression coming for him. On top of that, the guy's sporting the third hardest hit rate in the league at 44.6. Against the Dodgers lineup that Kyle said is second against righties on the season. I think he's due to implode. And on top of that, his worst splits at home against lefties with a 337 WOBA. Guys like Freeman, Peralta, Muncy, and Outman are all lefties, and I think they can make noise here. On the other side is Tony Gonsolin. He's another guy who has drastically worse expected numbers than actual numbers. But Gonsolin's a guy that I trust no matter what after what he did in 2022. I can say about his numbers this year is posting a 0.75 home run per 9, a 0.92 whip, and a 153 opposing batting average is no joke. And should be quite alarming for an Atlanta team that's 27th in WRC plus against righties over the last 2 weeks. So through the first 5 at plus 104, we're getting on Barstool. No way I'm passing that up.
Without a doubt. Next game. Tigers at Royals. All right, so I'll put it's KC first 5 money line or pass. I'm gonna let Prop Beaver talk because he likes it better than me. Greinke at home, obviously, if you bet baseball for more than a year, you know Greinke at home has always been reliable, at least for the last couple seasons. And he's off to somewhat of a decent start at home again this year. I think he's got an ERA around 3 compared to an ERA over 6 on the road. So those home-away splits are still there for Greinke. Do I 100% trust the Royals lineup? No. Also, Matt Boyd, despite having terrible numbers, has flashed signs of being pretty good at times. So I don't love it, but that would be my pick if I was going to bet this one.
Yeah, I like the KC first 5 money line here. And the main reason for doing so is just the fact that we're going to get a lefty against KC, and KC's smashing left-handed pitching right now. The last 6 to 7 lefties to face them allowed 3+ runs, most of those coming through the first 5. And just looking at the spot, I mean, yesterday the Royals won the first 5 and the full game with a far worse pitcher on the mound in Mike Mayers against a far better opposing left-handed pitcher in Eduardo Rodriguez. Now they're going to face Matthew Boyd, who's posting a 6.21 ERA, a 5.26 expected FIP. I don't know. I'm just not seeing it. And as I've said, I love backing Greinke at home going all the way back to last season. The man continues to be substantially better at home. Detroit bats are just 19th in WRC plus against righties over the last 2 weeks and 21st over the last 30 days. And when Greinke faced him twice this season, he only allowed 2 runs through 12.1 innings of work. I think there's a reason the sharper books are starting to juice this up. And I think that Detroit's best chance at getting this win is to get to the KC pen.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. Oh, yeah, Phillies just got a hit. They're still alive.
Dude, this team is dreadful.
Phillies are down to their last out, in case you guys don't have it on. Runner on first, 2 outs in the 9th. Not looking good. Next game, Mets at Cubs. So I'm going right back to where we were last night. We went Cubs first 5 money line against the Mets last night. I think we even got it at the same price. And it cashed easily. I'm going right back to it because of one man. His name is Kodai Senga. And that's out. Phillies just tied it in the bottom of the 9th. Overcast. Phillies team total overcast. Phillies money line back in play. Trey Turner, let's go. Oh, man.
Dude, that's your boy. You've been singing praises about him all afternoon.
I was talking shit. I was talking shit about Trey Turner all day. That's awesome. Let's go, Phils. What game are we talking about?
So nice. Cash instead of a call.
That was awesome.
We are talking about the Cubs game.
Oh, yeah. So I've said a number of times that I don't trust Kodai Senga at all, and I stick to that. I still don't trust him at all. And his numbers on the road, I'm actually going to let Prop Beaver tell you about his numbers on the road. I didn't realize they were nearly this bad until he was talking about it earlier today. But this is just a fade of Kodai Senga. I don't trust his control on the road. Walks a lot of guys, can't seem to get outs when he needs to. If there's a runner in scoring position, dude's almost guaranteed to give a hit on the road. So, yeah, Cubs first 5 money line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the forefront of the Cubs first 5 money line bandwagon here today. Even with the wind blowing hard, I don't think that could stop Senga's reign of being truly horrendous on the road. He's set to face a lineup of 7 righties today. Want to know how Senga's been doing on the road against righties so far? Well, got a 2.7 home run per 9, a 1.8 whip, and a 5.98 FIP. That is absolutely piss. Now he's going to face a Cubs lineup that quietly is 11th in WRC plus against righties over the last 2 weeks, and over the last week, they're 5th in WRC plus through the first 5 against righties. I think they can have 2 and 3 off of him early, even with that wind working against them. On the other side is the Mets bats, who are definitely heating up. I'm going to give credit to them. I like seeing it as a Mets fan myself, but most of that production is coming late in the game. Since the beginning of their 5-1 run, the Mets are 19th in WRC plus against righties through the first 5, and from the 6th to 9th innings, they're 3rd. So they're hitting bullpens extremely well, but through the first 5, they're still struggling. Bieber held them to 2 runs through 8. Bybee just held them to 2 runs through 6. So they're still having great outings against the Mets. It's really the bullpens that are imploding. And on the other side, as I said, Stroman. I love this guy. He's been pretty excellent to this point. Last year, he was weaker at home, but this season, he's been even stronger at home with a 2.79 ERA, 2.58 WOBA, and a 102 WHIP. His only bad start came against a very potent Dodgers team that was just starting to heat up. The Mets may be heating up, but that's coming in the later half of the game. Add in that Marcus Stroman does not like this team because they let him walk in free agency, and I think he's going to bring his A game today.
Yeah, I mean, I thought of that angle. I just really like betting Stroman on the road a lot more than I like betting him at home. But I'm still with you. I'm with you in the Cubs first 5. I'd like it a lot more in Citi Field, as crazy as that sounds. All right, let's move on to the next one. Yo, Bryce Harper walk, by the way. Phillies are about to walk it off with Nicky Sticks.
Change the name to fucking Nicky Whiffs.
Marlins at Rockies. Sandy, man. What do you even think about Sandy anymore? It's tough. So I passed on this one. Like I said, I don't like the slate today. I had 4 passes. This is my 4th pass. I usually don't like to pass on this many games, but I was actually getting frustrated over the last few hours. Prop Beaver's been over he came over about 3-4 hours ago, and I've been sitting here like I can't find anything, and I don't want to force it, so I don't like it. I guess I was looking at Marlins -1.5 here, but I really just don't trust those bats, even against a rookie pitcher. So, yeah, I'm passing.
Yeah, I just think it's really nice that Trey Turner hit a home run in honor of Tina today. Turner. Yeah, RIP. Now, yeah, I think if I had to pick a side for this game, how do you not take the Rockies again? I mean, they've treated us well these last 2 days. They're hitting righties extremely well. Kaufman is a rookie starter who's making his first start at Coors, which is why I'm not getting to the window on this. But if I had to take a side, I'm definitely rocking with Colorado. Miami's bats have been disgustingly bad against righties lately. Alcantara looks like a shell of himself. The last 2 times Alcantara went to Coors, he's 0-2. And in fact, the most recent trip to Coors in 2021, he allowed 10 runs and 10 hits, along with 3 home runs. So I just personally think at the price, Sandy continues to be overvalued, and the Rockies bats are undervalued. And honestly, I don't see much of a bullpen disparity.
Yeah, I could see how you got there. I actually really wanted to bet Miami, so I put pass up there. You put I put Rockies or pass for you. Mine would probably say Marlins -1.5 or pass. So I'm slightly on the other side. Not enough to debate you on it, though. Next game, you already know. We're going back to old reliable. Boston. Let's do it. I'm on the Bo Sox. Boston money line. It's at -120. I think you can get it like -116 somewhere. I saw. So first of all, these Boston Red Sox bats are suffering from the most severe case of dew I've ever seen. They've scored a total of one total run in their last 3 games combined. Now they get a lefty starter. Now, surprisingly, because the reason I say surprisingly is this is almost the opposite of what it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. The Red Sox bats have been excellent against left-handed pitching. Remember when they were killing righties? That was probably about 3-4 weeks ago. They're crushing lefties right now. In the last 14 days, Boston's 7th in OPS versus left-handed pitching. In the last 7 days, they're 4th with a team OPS of over 1,000 against lefties. The Bo Sox are crushing lefties. They've been held to 1 run total in the last 3 games against almost exclusively right-handed pitching. Tyler Anderson hasn't pitched well at home at all. He's got an ERA of 7.20 at home. That's Tyler Anderson's ERA at home, 7.20. Ready for this? His last home start was his best home start of the season. He went 5 innings, allowed 5 hits and 5 walks. So his best home start of the season, he had a 2,000 whip. That was his best. I know betting James Paxton on the road against the Angels lineup that's been pretty solid against lefties for most of the season is a bit scary. I'm not going to fight you on that one. But then the line movement really shifts me over to Boston. You can see back down here in the bottom corner, this morning, you're looking at LA minus 110. And even though the action comes in, because look at this, the action, some money comes in on the Angels, and it actually drops 10 cents. So not that that's anything super significant, but that was definitely the last nudge to get me over to Boston. I am going to bet this. I mean, I don't even know. We only have one bet at the top bet, and this isn't it. So, but I might put like 0.75 units on this personally. So I'm on Boston.
Yeah, I see you, John. Yes, we do need just one more to cash. If you had those in a parlay, I mean, good on you, man, because that would pay out nice if they could win. Yeah.
Well, you mean our 3 bets on the screen?
Yeah. That's what he's talking about. Good luck, John. Yeah, I mean, in this game, my original lean was the over because I don't trust Paxton quite as much, and Anderson's objectively sucked at home. So first lean was the over. Problem with that is everybody's on it, and there's zilch line movement, so not doing that. But I'll go with Kyle's pick here. I'll go with the Boston money line strictly based off that line movement alone. Boston is definitely due. And a spot that I like is a spot after where I know a lot of people are on a side and it loses in tragic fashion. If you take that team the next day, it's for some reason, the game odds of sickos, it just has a crazy hit rate of just taking that public play the next day after everybody's disgusted by them. And everybody, a lot of people I know and I respect, liked Boston yesterday, including Kyle. And they couldn't do shit. They couldn't do anything off Griffin Canning. I was saying yesterday that Griffin Canning's lines were sus as hell. And guess what? He cashed all of them. So the books know best. And I just think at the price with the movement, you got to ride with the Boston here. I see the Justin Turner comment. He's in the hit parlay for today. He has some crazy history against Tyler Anderson.
Yeah, I wonder if the reason for that is people lose their bets and then out of frustration fade them the next day, which makes them undervalued. They go from overvalued to undervalued in a 24-hour span.
Well, that and people just being like, you know what? No, I'll pass on that game. That cannot. So, yeah.
Right. All right, let's move on to the final game here. A's versus Seattle. I was looking. I really wanted to get there and take Oakland plus 1.5. It's at like plus 130, and I wanted it, but I just couldn't get there. This dude Bryce Miller's numbers are nuts looking, and it's Big Ken on the mound. I can't get there with I can't get there with Big Ken. Not betting Ken Waldichuk, so this is a pass for me, unfortunately. I thought the last one was my last pass. This one is actually my last pass.
After what the Athletics did to my soul yesterday with 2 outs and nobody on, I don't know if I could process betting the Athletics again. I also can't process laying minus 300 with this garbage-ass Mariners team at the current state. So this is definitely a pass for me. I bet a lot of people are going to be on Bryce Miller over Case today, considering in his MLB debut, he had 10 against this Athletics team, and it only helps that the Athletics have been striking out at a much more high rate recently. I would have to look at that. I'm loading the line as we speak, just waiting on OddsJam to load up. I mean, it's at 5.5. Maybe I'd play it and combine it with the Mariners money line. That'd be my best bet for you, but otherwise, I'm just passing.
Yeah, I had the same thought process. I was like, all right, Mariners minus 300. I'm not betting that. Give me a reason to fade it, please. And I just couldn't find a good enough reason.
See, Scott's smart. Scott took the 1.5.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I took the half through the first 5. And what do I get? Nothing.
Bryce Miller to record a win at plus 125.
It's not a bad look. I mean, he does go pretty far into games. But I don't know. It is the second time they're going to be seeing him. Seattle does struggle more against lefties and righties. This is just a big old pass for me.
Yeah, same. All right, let's bust out a community parlay. It's only 10 games tonight, but I think between us community folks, we can get ourselves a nice community parlay. If you don't know what that is, throw your favorite parlay leg into the comments, and I use them to build a parlay that we all theoretically are supposed to place together. I don't always place it. Yeah, sometimes it's just for show. But it has hit. I think it's only twice. I was thinking about it. I think it might have only been twice. Oh, you got me all excited. Like Phillies walk-off. I was like, nah, I don't know what's going on. I think they're calling him out on a pitch clock, though. By the way,
as they should.
I don't have the sound on, obviously, but
maybe get in the box soon.
Respect the game. Respect the rules.
Yeah, there was a comment that just moved by, and I can't see it, but I wanted to answer it. It's whatever.
Correct. Miller K's. Oakland due for a win.
Oakland due for a win thing. Yeah, I think that's part of a reason that Bryce Miller's at plus 125 to record a win, despite being a minus 300 favorite. I forget the last guy I took. Oh, Hunter Brown to record a win. I took at a huge. They were huge favorites. He was at plus money. I was like, oh wow. I mean, this is an absolute steal for the value. And then he wound up scoring. I mean, he wound up pitching 7 innings against the Athletics and still not recording a win because the other team couldn't score, despite facing pathetic pitching. So yeah, I just look out for that.
All right, get the book out. We got 4 legs.
All right, we got 4 legs. What do we got? Okay. All right, I'm cooking. So Yankees, Dodgers, first 5, Braves, Tigers. Okay.
We like the Reds, so I'm going to say I'll answer for him, but he can answer for you in a second. I'm almost guarantee he's going to say yes because we both like the Reds today. He wants to know if you take Cincinnati team total over 4.5.
First 5, always. Just roll with the first 5. They're much more potent through the first 5 than they have been in other spots this year. Whatever. Well, you have the Braves money line, you have the Dodgers first 5 money line. I mean, I guess I could try and do.
No. That's just me typing without thinking. Athletics plus 1.5 instead of Braves money line.
Okay, I could get down with that. All right, so God, I wish I wasn't so bad at finding things. The only other one we're missing is the Yankees. Come on. All right, finally. Sorry I had you guys waiting for all that time. Plus 1244.
Oh man, that is a monster. Let's rock it. Plus 1244. I'm not the hugest fan of putting first 5 money lines in parlays because I hate when a push could fuck the math up. That always just like pisses me off. Maybe it's an OCD thing. I just hate when it can fuck it up. But Yankees money. All right, so community parlay. Yankees money line. Dodgers first 5 money line. Oakland plus 1.5. Detroit money line plus 1244. It's a monster. All right, that's it. That's all the games. I'm about to go out to dinner with my mother. My mom's taking me out to celebrate 50,000 subscribers, so we're gonna have a nice dinner. So starting tomorrow night, we're going back to the old style, where at night I'm uploading the pick videos, and then we'll have the live show the next day. That's starting tomorrow night. As far as tomorrow during the day, I'm guessing it's a getaway day and there's the day games. So let me look. Oh, what an ugly day. We might want to do a 4 p.m. live and just say fuck the early games.
Yeah, I mean, that's just gross.
All right, so we'll be live at 4 p.m. tomorrow. That's what we'll do for tomorrow night. 4 p.m. live. I'll see you then. Thursday's such a terrible MLB betting day, but so we'll be live 4 p.m. tomorrow. Everyone have a great night. Thanks for watching as always, and see you at 4 p.m. tomorrow.